All right, here we are. Can you hear me, Nori?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Mystery should be joining us soon.
Good evening,
Why are you sending
Grandmaster.
invites out?
Grandmaster, grand evening. Dirtha, what's good?
What's
Akra,
good? How you doing? How everybody doing?
absolutely. Good. Absolutely. Dr. Cook might be joining us as well, I'm hoping.
How are you guys? How are you
All right,
doing?
how are you?
What we
We're
talking
good
about
here.
tonight? Hey, new.
This is the image of
Greetings.
Baphomet. It's an illustration painted in the
Ooh,
1800s by artist Eliphas Levi. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm echoing. Let me see.
Has to be muted, probably.
All right. Okay, am
You
I
had,
echoing now?
no, you had
Okay.
two devices up or something.
No, for some reason it was Dirtha. When I muted her, I stopped echoing.
Okay.
We're going to get into this. There's a lot of esoteric symbolism in here. Your Excellency, good to have you here. We got Nish
Peace,
K,
grand rising, everyone. Peace.
Grand
I'm glad to
Risings.
be here as well.
Absolutely. Divine Evening. Peace, peace, God. Come on up, King.
Invite. Hello, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here, Nish K. King Head, how's it going?
Good man, how you doing?
Absolutely. Good. Thank you for being here with us. Much appreciated.
Peace to the gods and goddess,
Absolutely.
divine empowerment.
Peace, peace.
So, shout out to Nori for doing this image, censoring this image. I got the censored image from Nori. Nori did that where it says censored across the chest. So, shout out to Nori for that, for providing it. Good job there. Tonight's agenda is to break down and explain this image, which is referred to as Baphomet, in its entirety, in as far as I understand it from the research I've done on it, books I've read about it, and videos I've watched about it. This image, Baphomet, is considered a very controversial image. Many fundamentalist religious people may deem it to be evil or something that they should stay away from. You know, Brother Panic explained it by saying that it's really esoteric and occult knowledge encoded in a spooky looking picture so that it's made to be frightening, to appear frightening or to look spooky, so that if someone is, for example, a religious person not ready for it, then they will not receive it. So it's designed in a way that it's only going to be understood and received by those who it's for. And if you're a religious person who says that just looks like the devil to me and I want nothing to do with that, then it wouldn't be for that person. So I think if I understand how Brother Panic explained it correctly, he said it's made to look this way so that if it frightens you, then it's not for you. And the encoded esoteric symbolism in this depiction wouldn't be for certain people. We were talking earlier about how not all knowledge is for everyone. However, in this illustration, Baphomet, some things are what we might consider today common knowledge in the esoteric or the occult. And everything I'm going to be presenting on here are things that I've learned from other presentations, videos, and what I've read in books. So it's pretty much all public information, although it's considered esoteric. Anyone who's familiar with Baphomet has seen this image. If you go to Google and type in Baphomet, it pops right up.
I mean, this image is older than a lot of preconceived notions that judge it, to be honest.
Very much so. It's from the 1800s by artist Eliphas Levi.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a manifestation of oneself into the angelic is what this means.
Yeah. Damn, bro. You've got some good knowledge. Could you go ahead and build on it? I'm going to gather my notes together. Go ahead and speak on it. Yeah.
Well, a lot of this image was originally carved in stone in the Persepolis of Iran. It's actually an understanding of oneself. This image was first sort of seen within the story of Marduk and the Dragon of Chaos, which is a story about the internal chaos of being a human, or your existential, which is philosophy.
Yes, sir.
So we're talking about 8,000 years ago that this sort of ideology and understanding of philosophy existed. That your inner dragon of chaos has to be tempered and tamed in order to find your stoic or understood self.
Right.
And so it emerged in various other cultures within the Dratha of paganism of the Norse, and even as far as into the Americas, even with some of the indigenous tribes that existed here.
Interesting.
So that's actually where the Wicca ideology, which hoodoo comes from, is this also as well.
So
It's
you're
an
saying,
understanding of balance of nature and self.
right, so some of the symbolism can actually be found in cultures worldwide, like as far as it can be traced back.
Globally, yes. It's in cultures globally, actually.
Right, and it's interesting you mentioned that because my understanding of it is that it's a very universal image and it's a very positive image. There's nothing necessarily quote unquote evil or bad about this.
Well, the ultra religious misread the pentagram. A star is not necessarily written in any sort of demonic, but it's understood as a geometric shape or a numerical algorithm, which is also part of our solar system.
Wow, that's profound, brother.
Which is astrogeometry, which was studied, and the reason why the pyramids exist is astrogeometry, actually, is the study within that. And same with the Dratha. The Dratha built Stonehenge based on astrogeometry to understand your placement in your time within your solar system, universe, nebula, and galaxy.
Yes, sir. So would we agree, or would it be safe to say that everything in this illustration, in this image, is sort of tied into all things or connected to all things in some way or other?
Yeah, it's actually a culmination of many cultures put together as an image, as a thought process of understanding oneself within one's universe.
Right. That's one thing I have here in my notes that I wanted to go over.
Well, like the serpentine belt that's there, that's actually a symbol of alchemy.
The serpentine belt. Are you talking about the top ring that's going behind where the two snakes intertwined?
Yes, the serpentine belt is originally an image that was used in alchemy. We're going to go back to like Taoism, Buddhism, and the understanding that using nature's plants to heal oneself is, the true medicine.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of that symbolized in here too. See, and that's a great contribution, brother.
Yeah, well, that's why our medical symbol is that symbol, is because the caduceus is alchemy became science and medical later. So it's the evolution of medical understanding and surgical even today. So if you study medicine, you know that history.
So there's medicinal symbolism in this image as well.
You see the caduceus.
Yes.
Absolutely. I would say my interpretation is it's a symbol of becoming the greatest version of yourself or oneself, which we may also refer to as Christ consciousness.
That's right.
And also people misunderstand the pointing of up and down, right? What is above is also below, is what that symbolism means. It means that your earth, your existence, even you as a person, as a carbon being, is intertwined with everything at even a scientific level that we understand as finite in the universe.
Absolutely. Grandmaster, you were going to say something?
Oh, I was waiting, but okay, so let's build it from the bottom up. So we got fish-like gills on the Baphomet, on the stomach, which represents the water element.
Right.
Okay, that's dealing with the fluid, the transformation, the qualities, in the pursuit of truth and purpose for personal transformation. The
Right.
left and right hemisphere of the brain. The caduceus also is representing the beginning of the kundalini
Right.
awakening. You got the electric force and you have the magnetic force that's coming up. So we
Absolutely. Right there.
started from the root. So that's the lower nature, primordial instinct, primordial instinctive consciousness. It's the same thing when you look at the Sphinx, the body of the lion, the head of a god.
Right. Right.
Right, dealing with the lower nature. The first three chakras is the lower nature.
Right.
Right, so that's what it's dealing with before it even travels up.
My understanding of this is that I'll use she, but it could be either, because as we're going to get into this later, it represents being one or in touch with both genders or androgyny, that this person, is mounted on top of the planet, sitting on top of the globe, enthroned above the earth, and that symbolizes having risen above the 3D material matrix, or risen above the demiurge's paradigm.
Well, Eliphas Levidel is actually a language that was in that time period. My mom speaks Romani, so it's Roman Latin. It means balance of oneself.
So that's what his name means.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've got the date here. This illustration was 1856.
In English letters, but it's Roman Latin.
Okay, so let me see.
My mom used to be taught Roman Latin in a one-room schoolhouse.
Okay.
So she's obviously, she was one of the last generations to learn it in a one-room schoolhouse. Yeah,
and so,
but Eliphas Levi, Levi means balance, right? Del means self. So Eliphas means to understand oneself.
Okay.
Self-mastery is another way to say it. Yes, you're right. The Isin Ella of ancient languages means universe, world, earth, and it was later turned to Eli, Elisa, and then eventually earth, dirt, home, and land during the Akkadian Empire, which is Israel.
Okay, and Grandmaster, what were you going to add, please?
Okay, so the third dimensional plane, the next one, the fourth dimensional is dealing with time and space. So we're talking about elevating again.
Right.
Moving up.
Okay, so it is a form of moving up. Also, like Dambro is saying, it's this person knows exactly where their feet are planted, so there's that balance and stability on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the dual cloven is also mathematical, so it's numerical back then. So 4 is considered a grounded number as well, which is why the hooves are there.
Oh, okay. Number 4 is a grounding number because if you look at the hooves, it could be said that there are 4 toes on the hooves, correct?
Correct. So the numerology is what was used in this image. And it's not necessarily going to be, the Abrahamic understanding of cloven, but actually outside of that understanding, which is closer to Asian cultures.
Okay, right. And as we're going to get into this later, I would say it's because this person has mastered astral traveling, raised the kundalini, connected the chakras, transcended the material world via the pineal gland. All of this is, as we're going to get into later in this illustration. So this person will not be confined to the demiurge's creation, or not limited to the Abrahamic or human matrix known as Earth. And also 4 is a very relevant number in many ways. Like there are 4 seasons, 4 directions, east, west, north, south, 4 elements, earth, air, water, fire. Then there's the 5th element, ether. We'll get into that.
Exactly. So that's why that's there.
Okay, so the 4 being the 4 toes on the 2 hooves could symbolize that this person is grounded on the material plane, which has the 4 directions, the 4 elements, the 4 seasons.
That's why it's there. Yes.
Okay, absolutely. That is beautiful. Wrapped around the male part and encompassing the image of an open female part are 2 serpents intertwined. We talked about the caduceus. The caduceus also looks like a DNA helix, which is like a twisted ladder in a way.
Well, yeah, it's the algorithmic, but this is also within the Taoism, the Kiasai, which people know as yin yang or whatever. The balance. That's why one is dark, one is light, the twist between the two, to come to the precipice of a point.
Behind are scales. You see scales there behind the snakes, and the scales symbolize the reptilian instincts, which are the 4 F's. They say fight, flight, feed, and fornicate, which could symbolize fulfilling desires. And I do also see, like, zooming in. Okay, there's 2
words there. There's words. Those are also the Roman Latin, written in Roman Latin words, actually.
Because you see what looks like, it kind of depicts a female private area. The lower intertwined. See how the 2 snakes are intertwined? The lower part kind of symbolizes like what we were.
Well, this is Latvian or Levantian language that sort of grew into what was the language below.
Yeah.
And I think it says life, but it's a little blurry.
Oh, really? Okay, so that's encoded in there, you're saying?
Yeah, the little characters that are in there, it says something life. I can't read the first character, but the other 2 are easier, and it means life. The one that looks like a sort of P triangle with a backwards 3. It's a meaning of like life or like rebirth or recreation. So like it literally is like reproduction as a word, I think. I don't know what the second one says, but I'm pretty sure it's guising towards that. If I can only read the second half.
The lower part represents a woman's part, and then it also looks like a rod.
Oh yeah, sort of passing through a little bit
part as well, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I think it's deeper than just, I think it's more about, go forth and, recreate yourselves,
Yeah.
It's sort of a thought of you do have a purpose, and your purpose is your lineage type of understanding.
Okay, absolutely. And Grandmaster, were you going to contribute something to this?
So I said before, those scales are fish-like on the stomach, representing the water element, right? Fluid,
right?
Transformation, the quality of water, reflecting both of the pursuit of truth and the process of personal transformation.
Wow.
It all starts from the water. Primordial
water comes forth in the creation of life, right?
Primordial waters.
Yes.
Interesting. Absolutely. I love that.
Hi. How's everybody doing?
Hi, Dirtha. How's it going?
I'm fine. Hey, listen, I'm listening to what everybody's saying, and really, yes, when you think about it, you're looking at the picture, right? And when you think scales, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right?
Right.
And as you look upon it, the scales of life, and you look upon the snakes, right? You think about I don't know the fancy words everyone was saying, but the Medusa, whatever.
Caduceus.
Yeah.
Caduceus, yeah.
Caduceus. But then when you think Medusa, right? And it's looking upon yourself, and you can turn to stone just by looking upon yourself. You're not paying attention and doing these things. And it's a flow of life for you.
Right, absolutely.
If you look at the shape too, you also see sort of a hip line. You see sort of the belly bulge, and you see the water inside, or a fish scale inside, it's a
and
womb.
right, and as the snakes hit the spear in that center, and whenever somebody makes you mad, where your belly starts to boil. I mean, like simple things. You think about these things.
Oh yeah.
You'll be like,
I,
"Oh,
I
my
was
belly
I
boiling."
was honestly thinking more like the life spark is a singular point where male and
Right.
female,
That's the
and the
life
DNA,
spark.
the
And
DNA
you get
twist of the
right,
offspring is just that, a twist of mixed DNA from one
right.
and the other to the
But
point
then,
of sight.
I mean, like, if we just wanted to put it in simpler terms for people to understand it,
Right.
for people to understand it, dude. Sometimes you get so mad, you be like, "Oh," and your belly is fighting itself. You be like, "I want to do something so bad,"
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, that's everything. It's everything. It's right in that center of that line of that flow of life. You know.
Absolutely. I'm very much
I think
seeing,
the
like, at
biggest
first glance,
problem
a
too.
subconscious image of polarity, like they're opposites that complement each other as they come together. I'm seeing like male and female in a certain sense and I'm seeing
Well, yeah.
sexual creation at the same time. But there's a
Right,
lot
but
in it,
that's the same thing. That's the same thing. We all know that in today's science, there is an actual spark of life that happens there, right?
Right.
But this sort of representation is the understanding that there is a moment where the two helical DNAs come together to create one.
Right. Right. And so yeah, I'm definitely seeing and the two snakes intertwined resemble the DNA helix, and so they're coming together in this combination significant of DNA, which is procreation or new life.
Easiest part is back before light pollution of the industrial age. You
Yeah.
can look up and see this happening in our cosmos when celestials are being created above you. So like
Right.
planets and whatnot.
Right.
So like it's not just humans that are created this way. Planets and celestials are created, and everything has this helix in it. Not just
Right.
us. The entire universe has this helix.
Absolutely. And so this illustration, this character or being or figure, symbol, Baphomet, is someone becoming in touch with androgyny, which is both genders within, meaning that, both genders or neither gender specific because it's deep.
Well, the 1 is 3 and the 3 is 1 is a mathematical
Okay.
thing that's said throughout many cultures and traditions, and it is the
Absolutely.
giver of knowledge.
Right. So Trinity is like mind, body, and soul,
Right.
Okay. Okay. And then I've heard even also on a deeper esoteric level that the number 6 actually means SEX, which is 3 coming together with 3, which equals 6. A mind, body, and soul coming together with another mind, body, and soul. A trinity coming together with another trinity to create new energy, which is just energy.
And actually, that was not created as a bad thing till the Victorian period. A lot of people don't know that.
Absolutely. Around the Victorian era, a lot of things started to change.
Well, this picture was created as a reminder of what the truth was during the Victorian period, which was within the 1800s.
Right. Absolutely. Relative to that time. Absolutely.
He was trying to remind people of ancient cultures. He was a very learned and educated person that made this.
Absolutely.
Back then, they were called polymath.
Okay. Okay.
Polymath means a studier of many subjects.
Absolutely. Okay, so that's Eliphas Levi, right?
Yes, that's the well, Eliphas Levi, Gel is actually a set of words. That's not a name, but
really, so that wasn't like maybe that was maybe like a celebrity name or not his actual name, so to speak.
No, that's just what he called the piece of art. They used to write like this is written in Hafiti. Hafiti later was called graffiti during the Roman Empire, and it's the oldest word in the human language. It means writing on the wall.
Oh, interesting.
So graffiti today still is the only word in our history that still holds its original meaning.
Interesting. That's some great contribution there, Dan, bro. Appreciate that very much. Okay, now does anyone else want to build on this image? That there's maybe a little bit more we haven't covered, like the two serpents, for example, are coming together. It's like they're not kissing, but there's that circular sphere in the middle.
That's the brain.
Grandmaster
That's
wants
the brain. That's the brain.
Okay.
Notice one
Comes
is
up,
open and one is
that's
not,
the
though.
energy. That's the energy that comes up the spine, electrical and magnetic, and it hits at the brain, and it illuminates from there.
Okay. So, Grandmaster, is this signifying
The vagal,
what some refer to as opening the third eye?
or the vagal nervous
third
system
eye,
that
yeah,
goes
the
through your
vagus-
entire
vagus-
body to the
vagus
brain.
nerve. It's the biggest nerve in the brain.
Okay.
It's connected to the central equilibrium,
Okay.
right? It's in the base.
Yes,
So,
equilibrium.
it comes up,
Absolutely, Grandmaster.
boom, and you got the vibration that's moving up and down. It's an electrical and a magnetic energy.
Yes, which is why the way you speak to others and the way you speak to yourself affects your body.
Okay, and considering that the serpent represents the Kundalini, and we have the two serpents intertwined, symbolizing the DNA, and there's male and female, could it also signify that when you awaken the Kundalini, it goes up to that part of the brain, Grandmaster? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got it. Right on the spot.
Actually.
And all life comes from. Yeah.
Right. I was about to say there's three things that's happening there. All of that represents the third eye, not just the pineal gland.
Yes, sir,
The third
Grandmaster.
eye happens when all of that happens together and it moves out that way. That's where you get the understanding of the
That's the understanding of oneself.
Lotus.
The lotus, the opening of the knowledge and flower. Yeah, a lot of people get that tattoo but don't know what it means.
Wow. So Dan, bro, you were saying that the arch in the background symbolizes something. Could you build on that a little bit more?
Yes. So if you look, it looks like hips and a belly, and the water within the belly is represented by the fish scales instead of serpent scales.
Okay.
But you also notice that the serpents themselves don't have scales, right? So
Right.
that doesn't necessarily mean that they're land serpents. They could be sea serpents because the scales are smoother in a water-based serpent.
Okay. And Grandmaster has the picture of it right there. Same exact symbol. That is profound. So this is ancient Egyptian symbolism. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Ancient Kemetic. Mm-hmm.
Semitic. Well, technically, it's Sargonic language.
Okay.
This sort of ideology was created during the Akkadian Empire under Sargon, Rishmush, Telematud, also within the Persepolis of Iran, which was a school.
Yes, sir. That's in reference to the same Sargon, that's Sargon of Akkad, right, Dan, bro?
Correct.
Okay.
That's why there's so many serpent images and what they call Mesopotamian, ancient Babylonian, but actually it's just Sargonic. The language is called Sargonic, based off of Sargon of Akkad and the Akkadian people in Sargon's bloodline, which is the kings of first tents and then the kings of bricks and stone.
Okay.
And the kings of bricks and stone used the knowledge they learned in order to build all of the things throughout the Middle East and the world that are all these ancient civilizations. They go back
Right.
75,000 years.
Okay, absolutely. That's great history.
What I wrote at the bottom there is the Akkadian word for serpent, which is actually serum. Serum from the alchemy of serum, creating a serum to cure yourself. And that's what serpent means. And that's why they gave that as a meaning. It's part of alchemy that was created during the Akkadian Empire. but that's the actual Akkadian word that I wrote down there.
Okay, it's in the comments, Damro?
Yeah, down there, those symbols. That's what Serum is as a word, which means serpent in Akkadian language.
Okay.
But you notice that the Serum also represents, and this is why he came to this conclusion and drew this. You have the sort of Pisces symbol within Serum as the serpent, which is what is the meaning of alchemy and medicine back then.
Right, there's a lot to do with medicine with regard to the serpent.
Right, and that's the origin point of the serpent as word, and it's serum, which is where the word serum in Anglo-Germanic words come from. Like you take a serum to cure yourself.
Absolutely, and so okay, so there's a lot of connection here with regard to, you know, the serpents representing medicine, and serum, which serum is a medicine. Now, is this because, or is it safe to say that the reason the serpent represents medicine is because it's significant of the DNA helix, or other reasons?
Well, you can't cure yourself unless you understand how you're made.
Okay. And the
Right.
serpent has a lot to do with how we're made then.
Well, yeah. I mean, the idea of the serpent was used as a symbolism for serum. Like, if you get poisoned, you're going to need a serum. It was kind of like an advertising thing back then. Like serums to fix how you were poisoned always had a snake on them.
Okay, absolutely. And, you know, and I've heard it said that what we are is actually a head and a central nervous system, which is what a snake is. Although we have more than just a spinal cord and a head, the central nervous system.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have your vagal, your anterior vagal, your resuscent nervous system, and they all intertwine and interconnect to create your electrical current throughout your being.
Okay, and so throughout history, is this correct to say, Grandmaster, that the serpent has always showed us something about ourselves or something to do with medicine? Okay.
Yeah, that was the base study of the priest Hemotep.
Okay.
He's the father of medicine and magic.
Absolutely. You know, Quetzalcoatl of the Aztecs is called the plumed serpent. And so there's a lot of reasons why the serpent's associated with medicine then. With, you know, understanding ourselves or understanding, you know, we apparently also have a reptilian cortex of the brain, you know. And so, all right, let me go ahead and put this other image up here on the screen.
It said Inami Elise, right? In Akkadian, that's how you say it and write it down. Inami Elise.
Okay.
That was an actual word 9,000 years ago.
And what does that word mean?
The nervous system he's talking about. They had understanding of that, and that's where the origin of that word comes from. Like, so it's in the Akkadian language.
Okay, absolutely. Now I want to build on this, the arms that go up and down, this other part moving up higher on the image. One arm is pointing up and one arm is pointing down, as some say regarding the Hermetic axiom, if it's called, as above, so below, or as within, so without, symbolizing that this person is aware of universal truth of polarity, the universal principle of polar opposites. One arm's pointing to the light moon and it says Salve on the arm. The other arm's pointing to the dark moon and it says Coagula on that arm.
Right.
So this person is enlightened to the truth of the balance between light and dark, good and bad, how neither is necessarily superior.
Oh, not good and bad, just light and dark. There is
okay, just light and dark, right?
Yeah.
You know, but there's polarities that relate in many different ways, like productive, counterproductive, up, down, left, right.
Right, but your existence isn't based on morality, and
Right.
the saying that came out of, because it was originally written in stone by Hammurabi. So what is above will be below is part of his dissertation on humanity. But we only know the first part of it. Usually, an eye for an eye. Everyone ends up blind. Tooth for tooth.
Right.
Yeah, we all starve. But
Right.
what is light will be dark.
Right.
It keeps continuing. Like, it's a very long message that was written originally.
You mean as far as like the Bible goes?
No, Hammurabi is the basis of all human law today, and the balance of equity in, equal crime equals equal punishment. It was, I mean, there was writings about even taxation within the same document, but it was like a lot of this sort of back and forth balance was, and I say document, but it's cuneiform, it's carved stone, and it's in the Persepolis of Iran. Well, not anymore; it was moved to a museum, but that's where it originally was carved, was in the Persepolis of Iran. And then there's another version that was carved in the Valley of the Kings. The same thing that a lot of people, base their religions off of, those teachers, those expounders and translators, which prophet as a word means, used their knowledge of understanding those words to teach people what was written on the walls before they showed up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so based on
Can y'all
that,
hear me?
we have 12 laws. The law of polarity, the law of action, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, the law of transmutation of energy, the law of attraction, the law of rhythm,
Yes, sir.
the law of compensation, the law of relativity,
Right.
the law of correspondence, the law of the principle of universal connection. That's where people get the quantum physics, quantum entanglement situation. And then there's the law of gender. All of this is wrapped into those two things. As above, so below.
Yes, sir. It all correlates.
Yes.
Rack, you want
That's
to
the
say
symbol.
something?
Yeah, I mean that's the upward is this, it stands for ascension and descension.
Okay.
And you also have reconstruction and deconstruction. And then you got the Baphomet symbol where he's sitting in the throne, right? And then you got the two kids, the children. All right. So the throne has the upside down star at the top, on top of the spear of the arc of the throne. And that is so in that statue, the top of the throne is the mind open up. So
Can I talk about the words for a sec?
I was gonna. Okay, before we.
Well,
yeah, I wanted to build on that too.
Xavier, well, you keep saying solve, but the way it's used in this image in that time period was Xavier, which means to add, subtract, divide, and multiply as a word, and Kogula as a word means to conjugate or understand word. So, like, to understand your mathematics and also understand your language is what those words actually mean.
Okay, so my understanding, and yeah, that's right too. My understanding is salve is Latin for dissolve, which means to come apart, and coagula means to coagulate. So there's dissolve and coagulate. Coagulate means to come together.
But salve as a word, but they have similar meanings, but it's mathematics based, right?
It's breaking down,
So salve is mathematics.
Add and subtract.
But
Right.
And divide and multiply, right? But they're two different words that mean the same thing in different ways. One is mathematics, and one means that in a literary sense.
Right. So doesn't dissolve mean to come apart, and coagulate means to come together?
Yes.
Well,
coagulate,
but it doesn't
coagulate
mean,
is like
mean
elements.
The same thing in this context, because it's not coagulate; it's coagulate.
Oh,
as a word.
Yeah,
okay.
Kogula.
Now, what were you saying?
Cogula as a word is an understanding of linguistics or languages or literacy,
Okay.
right? But also it also means to bring one knowledge, to challenge one's knowledge, which is divide, to divide your mind in order to question oneself, right? Is
Right.
how they really understood how to become literate back then. You had to unlearn to relearn, right? So
Right.
that's why they mean the same thing, which is add, subtract, divide, and multiply. Because if you add knowledge, you subtract what you've learned, you divide it, and you will end up multiplying your knowledge, even in a literate
Absolutely.
sense.
And so also it has the meaning of combining the elements, which has a higher meaning. So of course it's the sun, the moon, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury, and those are the elements. That also represents, and each one of those elements have a unique calling. So it's always revolving around sacred geometry, architecture as well. So the balancing is like so you got the balancing of Saturn, that's your discipline. And then the Jupiter is the meaning. And then Venus is the beauty. Mars is defense. Mercury is thought. Sun is action. And Moon is reflection. And
Wow, that's
that's the
beautiful.
combining of the elements.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in dissension.
Wow.
Because
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
because reducing is to go up.
Okay.
So descend is to add, multiply, and divide. It all starts into the Saturn. The Saturn start to multiply and divide, and that's in dissension because
But also the
the one
ascension is Venus, right?
say again.
The ascension or creation would be Venus in this time period.
Yes, but so you got the deep meaning of Venus is the beauty. So the beauty, it goes back to the flower of life, and it goes back to the tree of life, which in the center is the beauty.
Right.
But that's just, it's a massive meaning to beauty. It's just not.
I mean, one of the oldest statues in human history was created 75,000 years ago. It's the Venus de Willendorf. It's a statue about creation and life.
And also it is authenticity. So speaking in authenticity is just like all of us individually having our own understanding of all of it. So that is also ascension, because when you're ascending alone. You're not ascending with everyone else because you're going up to the Omni One. In ascension, that's descending. So descending, you're gonna go back up and reducing. So when you descend, you're gonna add, multiply, and divide. And when you ascend, you are really descending. So that is the up from below, because it's in reverse. When you on the three-dimensional plane, it's reversed.
Right.
Well, someone brought up magnetism, right? If you have a magnet that loses its power, what do you have to do to get it to gain its power again? Touch it to another magnet. The transfer of energy from one magnet to the other is natural.
Right. And I see that very much in this illustration as well. Mm. And also, I wanted to build on Baphomet has wings, which I've heard and understood symbolize that this person has mastered astral traveling and is able to fly the astral realm, among other symbolic representations of traveling. How's it going, Levon?
Well, to be able to travel from one body to another is the understanding that the reincarnate is always.
So the wings could symbolize a form of travel in many ways. Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I'm
Also, the
I'm
wings
speaking
could
from my
represent
understanding of like
and
ancient
also represent.
civilizations. Like through cultural anthropology, the wings weren't originally attached to like these sort of religious things, but more of a knowledge of a raven or
Okay,
the
somebody,
speaker of
hold on
words.
real quick. Somebody is very incorrect in the comments. This is not a jinn. Somebody said in the comments, this is a jinn. No, that's probably something a fundamentalist religious person would say.
It's definitely not a
Yeah.
jinn. Okay.
Yeah.
This is literally why Victorians
It's
burn
energy.
people at a stake.
These are made out of energy, pure energy.
Right, smokeless fire, right, Grandmaster?
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, that's a whole different conversation because I can actually be legit.
Smoke.
Yes, sir,
Smokeless.
Grandmaster.
You
Yes,
know
sir.
what has smokeless fire? A star.
Okay, build on that, Dan, bro.
Well, if you understand how stars exist, you understand that while they hold gas, they hold no mass.
Duh.
Right? So they sit there burning on their own energy and spark.
The
So
breath
you
has
understand that
smokeless
a
fire.
smokeless gas would be nothing but a vapor.
Right. Also the Kundalini energy within and your own consciousness, the brain runs on electricity, is a type of fire that doesn't
So
produce smoke.
the outer
Exactly.
breath, the outer breath is a smokeless fire.
Right.
You got inner breathing in the outer breath.
Absolutely.
There's inner breathing in the outer breath.
Absolutely.
Smokeless fire.
So, okay, so the wings have a lot of symbolism. Does anyone else want to build further on the symbolism of the wings?
Well,
The wings also
because if you
stand
look
for-
at the Persepolis of Iran, which is one of the first times this sort of image was used within Marduk, right? He wrote a dissertation in rock on the wall called The Dragon of Chaos. And the Dragon of Chaos was talking about the existentialism of understanding oneself and the dragon within and learning how to tame that dragon to actually see oneself in a pure way.
Right, we talked about reptilian symbolism earlier.
Yeah.
Yi-Rock, what were you going to add to this?
I was gonna say that the wings also represent angles, which is angels, and also angles and angels are degrees, and the wings represent degrees, the different degrees of thyself, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
what the wing represents.
I see
Is
that,
what-
Grandmaster. Grandmaster, would you share some of that wisdom? That maybe without sharing too much, by your wisdom.
Well, there's a way to summon certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get your mindset right.
Yes, sir.
Because they will take you over if you don't.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're using certain oils and certain other elements
Right.
at a certain time, at a certain place. Those things will come to you. And they move through dimensions. Jen.
Yes, sir. Oh, the genie in the lamp. I got it. Okay.
Yes.
The genie in the lamp. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Arabian Nights, 1,000 Arabian Nights, the writings of that, and
Yes.
I've read. Of course. But, I was born in Jerusalem, so, like, I was immersed in certain cultures, for sure.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And no, I'm not religious, just to make that clear.
Absolutely. Now, I want to go into the star on the forehead. I'm going to pull up a picture that zooms in on that real quick. Let's see here. Okay. Right here, the star on the forehead. I want to build on this symbolism a little bit.
A pentagon.
Right. Absolutely. Now it's on. Let me share my understanding of it before we have the open discussion and build on it. The star on Baphomet's forehead means that the third eye is fully open, becoming master of the pineal gland, which is located in the center there. And I've also heard that this 5-pointed star can represent the 5 elements: air, earth, water, fire, and ether, ether being at the top. And these are all 5 things perceived by the pineal gland, which is in the center of the brain.
Well, this is something that is still very prevalent in our society today. The Pentagon is your intelligence of your government, right?
Right.
So also understand that the lines within this pental are not broken. They're not crossing, they weave, which is important to understand that in order to have full knowledge, there can't be any breaks or broken lines. It has to be beyond linear.
Also, so the star on the forehead is connected with the throne. So it's in this picture right here. So it's in the ancient statue, right? So it's connected with the throne behind it, which is the mind open. The mind is open with the Baphomet, and the horns are the vertices of the brain. The star is how your optical nerves is operating with the 12 disciples, the 12 cranium nerves. And that is the star that's on the top of the throne. It's open when it has the star, which is the star is also a representation of Saturn, because the star is also Lucifer, because that is the observation, that's the vision, the the we are the ones that decipher the light, and that is how light is traveling through the picture of Lucifer, which is also the star, which is also the
Well,
crossing, which is also
Lucifer
how light
Lucifer means
trains.
the same word as Illuminati in that time period, which means enlightened one.
Absolutely.
Yes, you
So,
also have
but
Ono,
also with those
father of
lines
time.
unbroken, you have an eternal circle, right? Within that star. If you look, it's woven. The lines never break, they never end, and they're forever.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
So
once
that
you
is just
find that point
interconnectedness.
in life, you will live as an existence, not just on this plane, but every other plane as a consciousness for eternity.
I look at it. So when I see the interconnectedness of things like that, it's only the word knowledge, because knowledge says it all. Knowledge is the now, the no, the not, the now of the edge of the ledge of now. All of those things are just in knowledge. And that is interconnectedness, because once you are interconnected, it's infinite and it doesn't stop. And
Yeah,
that,
and the source of knowledge is infinite because you can always learn more. There's never you're never always you're never complete as an existence. You always
you
have to
always are
learn.
new, like every second. And it's like,
Not even with it, like every lifetime you have to learn. Every reincarnate, every time you come back, all of it. Like every part of your existence as an energy, even if you become a rock later, you're learning something.
Right.
yes, but so to even have those type of understandings is like no reincarnation. See, reincarnation is like you don't know that you 8 before you 9. If you are 8 before you 9, then you will not would be reincarnated. Because if you think 8 is just itself, then you will be reincarnated. Because 8 is 9, and you have to be infinite before you are complete.
Well, 8 is 9, 9 is 12, 12 is the infinite.
13.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
so you come to that understanding that I may not be what others say I will be or can be, but I can be me, in the ultimate sense of oneself.
I am not what you say I am. You are what you say I am.
Right.
Exactly.
I've heard that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But
So,
that's what that symbol means truly in its origin is the infinite understanding that you are, if you want to be the learned, you always have to be the student. If you want to be the eternal, you have to be willing to die. You have to
Yeah,
be.
it's all about, because
It's all
death going in
balance.
the cradle with life. It's just all duality,
Yes.
duality, and then coming into polarity,
right.
having a
Well,
polarity.
duality is polarity, and polarity is balance, right?
But yeah,
I've heard there could be
the
somewhat of a
duality,
difference in
yeah,
polarity and
the
duality.
duality is like the reason, right? The duality is why I'm looking and you looking at me, right? Why I'm perceiving and you are perceiving. Duality. Why everything has an opposite, right? But the polarity
What's
is
good, Panics?
understanding.
Wait,
It's
Kev, I can
understanding.
explain this in a scientific sense. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Duality is polarity because if you flip the magnet over, what is it? Duality.
So
Yes,
I've
So
heard
but
it's
that the
understanding
difference
both
brother,
is,
sides of your coin.
hold
that's a
on, real
collective
quick.
thought.
The difference is
Collective
that
thinking.
polarity means it's different in degree, and duality means two different things. You know.
Right.
Yes.
But
Yes.
polarity means it's drawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And duality means it's pushed. If you take a magnet and you hold it in its polars, it draws the two magnets together. If you flip
I know. See,
one
but
of the
look,
magnets over,
even on six.
mathematically, you now went from 1 plus 1 equals 2 to 2 plus 2 equals 3, which is the prime, which is the duality sense that you have to step outside of the polar to understand your other self.
Projection.
Yes,
Projection. Yes, and then that is still duality because
exactly.
projection. Yeah. So outside of duality is gonna be non-duality.
Right. Which is
Yeah.
which
So
is
that's
which is the Afrim, the understanding that you can be just nothing.
And
Nothing is
so
represented as the divine feminine, which is the zero.
the zeroth point, right, and that could be represented by the ether, which is the fifth element. You know, the star represents the five elements: air, earth, water, fire. Then there's ether, the fifth
And
element.
and you're
Yeah.
But there's
correct,
no
brother.
look.
And
So if you
and
how
then
you gonna
five
be
elements
feminine
represent as
outside of
God because we
duality?
can embody those five elements, which makes us God in the
And that's
flesh.
why it's on the
No,
pineal
see,
gland.
God is on this realm. See,
It's us, bro. It's everyone on this live.
Right.
Those five elements we use to keep us alive. And that's what I've been trying to tell these
You are
Christians
all five
every
yes,
day.
but
elements.
And they
God,
act
bro,
like it's so
God.
hard to comprehend.
Okay, so if you are just God, right?
Right.
Where's your celestial? Where's your primordial?
My
Where's your
primordial is the
demigod? Where's
zero.
your
I come out of the
demiurge?
zero, which makes
Right.
me one.
Dr.
Zero
Cook,
and one is
salutations.
binary.
Yes,
Zero and one are
binary code
binary.
is the secret to life.
It's
Dr.
zeros
Cook,
and
What
ones.
secret to life?
I
Okay,
said
okay.
this
Here we
earlier.
go. Here we go. Secret to life, binary, right? You say binary is the secret to life, and it's just geometry. Geometry is the architecture of the world, right?
Oh,
So that's spunked up in your spirit. Your
right,
spirit is connected to the
but
Well,
matrix.
I
you
don't
want
know
to
about
hear
the
a real
spirit, brother.
trip
I'll
right
say the
now?
physical flesh because
Think
you know
about
that
this
we are
in
made up
today's
of
language.
numbers, linked,
Wait,
death,
wait,
and
wait,
death.
wait. Think
hold on
about
one
it
at a
in
time.
today's.
Dr. Cook, Smoothhouse is with us. Salutations, Doctor.
What's up,
Thank you
Smooth?
for being here. A Grandmaster was here earlier, and he gave us some great knowledge. Yeah, we're building. We're talking about the star in the center of Baphomet's forehead, which has a lot to do with becoming divine, godly. Let's continue to build one at a time,
Oh,
please. Go ahead.
so when you actually think about the numerology of this, right?
Yes.
The zero creates the one, right?
Okay.
But the one and one is a they, the opposition. A two and two creates a four, which is a ground. So, like mathematically speaking, the way that you sort of navigate life, it and the algorithm of that is what creates your peace, prosperity, your reality, your manifestation, where you go, how you perceive others and oneself. And like a lot of that was lost in sort of a lot of mumbo jumbo. But if you like go to like where numerology was really studied within like Asian cultures, you will come to find that the algorithm of life exists as a binary, which I think is very interesting because today, everything that's non binary or the two numbers will be a they, which means enemy.
Really?
Those two opposites though coexist, brother. Like without one another, we wouldn't be able to exist. It wouldn't be that.
Right. Right. But you have to understand the evils that will keep you from getting to where you want to be
All right,
and
but
find
binary
goals
is in
is
geometry.
outside of the binary understanding, which is the prime.
Yes.
Hey, yo,
The
outside
yo,
of
bro, I
power.
want to tell
awareness.
you this, bro.
Outside of
Yeah.
I'm
awareness.
from the projects, bro. I had no father, no
Every,
nothing. This
that
comes
means
from my
nothing.
soul. This knowledge and this
All of
wisdom
us
comes
have a
from my soul.
soul.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know, your truth is your truth, bro.
Bro, you're just listening to your heart. It's good.
Yes, your truth is your truth.
And my heart is my second brain.
The
Or the
Absolutely.
second
first.
brain is the gut.
Absolutely. The second brain that you have isn't necessarily your heart.
It
But
is
the
the
sense
heart.
of,
The gut
It's
would
the
be
gut.
considered the
but
third
but
brain.
but the heart itself is nothing more than an organ, right? Your heart as
Your
a
heart is
representation
the
is
heart
your
is the
love,
magnifier.
No, the
The heart
right?
neurons
Your
magnifies
inside the
love.
brain
everything.
has feelings, bro, and
I know,
emotions.
but just hear me out. Hear me out.
No, yo, all your
Love,
feelings come from your nervous
love,
system.
love is how you get to where you need to go. You love what you're doing. You love your goals. You love how you're getting there. You love your struggle and strife, and you enjoy what you're doing in life, right? That's the purpose of life. Is not necessarily finding a goal that impresses others, but finding that goal that gives you purpose in a
See, but when
love
you go
sense.
and when you one way and you deconstruct, when you deconstruct and you start reducing, less and less has the matter. Then that's gonna be less and less care. Care is the matter. The matter is how you weave things into the etheric. And then in the etheric of collective consciousness is where you create deities. Unless you are the thing creating. And then when we
Well,
are
you are
We
the
don't we
pure,
don't we
deity.
don't create in matter, brother. We create in space. We create in
but
emptiness, which is the zero, which is the great mother that gives life.
A thought becomes a word becomes an action becomes a manifestation to a goal.
Which is matter, correct, brother? Correct.
Yes.
So it came out of the zero, just like our mother womb it is a
Only the
zero.
central nervous
We had a
system
one
and is
between our
located
legs.
primarily in the brain and spinal cord, where it is responsible for
it's
processing
all
information. While the
individual
intestines have their own
knowledge.
extensive network of neurons called the enteric nervous
Yes.
system, sometimes referred to as the second brain, this is part of the peripheral nervous system and is distinct from the gray matter of the brain and spinal cord.
All right, listen. So you talking about the zero. The zero is two crescent moons. The crescent moons are in your hand. Your crescent moons make the Lucifer sign.
No, the
All
two zeros,
effortlessly.
brother, are the woman's womb, our mother's
The
womb.
womb is two crescent moons.
But
If you
that's
know
okay. You
geometry,
saying
you
to
know
say it
what the
ain't, but I
womb
just said
is.
it in sense to where we can see it with our eyes. We came out
All
of
it
the zero.
is duality. The womb is two crescent moons. Two crescent moons. It's duality. That's Vesca Pisces.
Okay, brother,
What
I'm
if
not
I told
saying
you
you wrong
you're
or
both
anything,
right?
brother, but I'm saying,
Wait, what
as
if
it
I told
said,
you
you're
you're
saying
both
you're
right?
talking
You're both
esoteric.
right?
I'm talking about the physical where
Right.
people like me that come from the projects can enter and understand it.
Bro, you keep saying project.
Hold on a
Projects is a
second. Hold
creation
on a
of
second.
you.
Magic has a
Oh
word.
my gosh,
Let's
bro.
hear
You don't
magic out.
you
One
acting
at a
like you don't hear
time.
me.
Hold on a second. Let's take a breath. Okay, now we're gonna discuss higher consciousness. We gotta act like we got higher consciousness. We can't get on here and get to debating and jaw jacking like we some dogs scrambling for some scraps. We can't do that. Now I'm gonna share something from experience. I teach the martial arts. I've been doing this since 1982. We'll show you something. There's a situation that happens whereas we understand gray matter. It's also found throughout the nervous system, more so in the spinal column. So therefore, from the vagus nerve, you get a sentientness and awareness. Okay. And when you get that awareness, you may think it's coming exactly from the heart, even though the heart is a magnet. It's an electric magnet. It can draw or drive things away. Also, the intestines that moves, it's a capacitor that stores energy, and there are nerves and neurons that move up in there. The true understanding is coming from your central equilibrium. So the gut is also considered a second brain. Yes, the heart feels, but the information goes straight to the central equilibrium.
And that's why I said they were both right.
Okay, I do this.
I said the gut is also because
Yeah,
it's
but
when we
bro,
eat
like just
and it
listen to
hold on, brother,
Magic.
hold
You're
on,
both
bro.
right.
Hold on. Let me say
I
this. When
mean,
we
he
eat
just
and we
landed the
digest
plane.
food, so we're generating the food that we're eating.
We
And
only
That
gonna
nigga,
have to
bro,
eat.
I'm following
we're
you.
our gut is operating the food that we just ate. And then when you take a shit, you're destroying that energy and that food that you just ate, which is God. Even when you taking a shit, it's
Hold on,
saying
hold on, hold
God.
on, hold on,
Come
hold
on,
on,
bro.
hold on.
Come on, bro. Your large intestines is doing the hard work.
That's
Let's
what I
clear it
just
up.
said.
Wait a
But you
minute, hold
said your
on,
gut. You
hold
gotta you
on.
gotta separate large
Hey,
intestines from the
hey,
small.
young
Let's
brother,
hear from
hold on,
Grandmaster.
hold on. It's okay. You guys are excited, and I'm glad y'all are excited about this subject. That's a good thing. All right, so this is what we have. Just like Miss Dory said, she was talking about intuition. So let's go with intellect and intuition, gut feeling. Okay. So when they hook up together, things level out. Okay. When you're dealing with your lower nature, the first three chakras,
Yes.
that's where we get the strife and the this and the and all that other stuff. So this is why we gotta level up. This is what this
Elements.
whole thing is about. Leveling up so that fire comes out the top. Huh? So that's how we get there in real time. Doing this in real time. If you're flowing in strife, you won't get there. I promise you won't. Go ahead, y'all got it.
All right. Let me. So I agree with you 100%. You know, because we all have our own individual understanding, because we all have different experiences. I do. I do feel all the aspects that are here. You know, because you are where you at, and you attract what you are. And the brain is not just a tool for the thinking. The brain is the garden for becoming. It is the crown where you whisper to the flesh. Before you move, before you speak, even desire, your brain already has sent the signal. But what the brain do is just what we speak of.
But brother, what about you talking about matter? What about this space,
No,
which is
that's
basically
gray matter. Can you
representation
let
of
me
the
get finished,
soul?
bro? Can you let me get finished?
No, I
No.
was just asking you a question, bro. I'm saying you
I'm
talking about straight
finishing. Let me
matter.
land my plane before you cut me off.
I didn't cut you off, bro.
All right.
Yeah, one
You're
at a time. Yeah,
you carrying the tone in your voice. Just
Oh my
let
gosh,
me
why does
finish.
everyone say I have tone in my bro? I just asked a
Come
question,
on,
okay,
bro.
like
let's go one at a time.
I'm not answering the question. I am
Yeah.
speaking.
Ye Rock, go ahead and then we'll hear from you, Grim. Yeah.
Okay, so the brain we speak of, it is merely gray matter. It is
Okay.
a divine mirror of the universe, folded like a sacred paper. It's breathing electricity and wind. It is the temple where frequency becomes flesh. Your brain weighs 3 pounds, but it holds the stars. The brain is made of 60% fat, installation of a divine signal, neurons, cells, wires. This is a womb of thought. Gray matter is the processor, the listener. White matter is the highways, the messenger.
How many neurons?
I'm gonna say 13, Grandmaster.
No, I want him to talk
Okay, I'm
since
sorry. My
he's
apologies.
either reading on ChatGPT or
I'm
something.
reading my book. I'm reading my
Come
book.
from here. Wait. I don't Google nothing.
I'm reading my book. Why are you talking about Google?
a book, brother, that was
I'm
made.
reading my book. I written this book.
Listen,
I
brother, I'm
wrote
telling
this
you,
book.
I'm talking from my soul. That's why I just
That's
told
where
you.
this book
You're
come
too,
from. It come
brother.
from my
No,
soul.
it
It come
doesn't.
from
How are you gonna
meditation.
say a book comes from the soul, brother? I'm not trying to
Because
argue
it's
with you.
my
Yeah,
book.
let's
I'm
not
not trying
argue.
to
Let's
prove you
yeah.
wrong. I'm not trying to do none of that, brother. I'm
Hey,
telling you.
look, when
This
somebody
is this is not productive at this moment because there is a breakdown of communication. Um, I would appreciate hearing from Magic. Let him finish his thought. I hear you though. How you pronounce your name, my love? Is it Yerak? Was it Yirak?
Mhm.
Is that
That's
is
the
that
name.
correct? I want to
Yeah.
make sure I'm saying your name
Yes.
right. Am I saying your name right? Maybe he can't hear
Yeah,
me.
that's
Can
fine.
you
I
hear
was
me?
muted. Yes, you rock.
Yerak. Yerak. Okay. I appreciate your wisdom because I know it comes from a place from within. A lot of it it sounds like you've discovered by way of just going through, and I appreciate that. But there's some other wisdom that needs to be heard that I think will connect certain dots for you that you already have, you know? That makes sense?
I'm listening. I just speak.
But
And
you have some really beautiful keys. I typed some of them in the chat, you know?
I appreciate you.
Yes. And I appreciate you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Um, yeah, just Grandmaster, did you want to continue?
I'm gonna piggyback off of what Miss Billy Temple said, and it's a beautiful thing that these young brothers are excited about this cipher. Maybe we can get somewhere.
Yo, so can I go and say what I just wanted to tell y'all, bro?
But what's on your mind, bro?
It's just that I just wanted to say that we get so locked into the physical realm of even our own bodies from the brain from on down. We are much more than the brain. We are spiritual. And this empty space, if y'all, everyone can wave their hand right now and not touch matter. And it is empty space. And that empty space, matter was created inside of that empty space, which is the great mother, which is representation of the zero. So everything around us is representation of the oneness. And that's all I was trying to tell, bro, is that the brain, none of that doesn't matter. But just how you said, Magic, you don't Google anything. I don't Google anything. It literally comes from the air that I breathe into my lungs, which is
Ram,
you can consider as consciousness.
Ram, I appreciate that. You have valid points. Now, the reason why I said that, I don't want you to pick up on just that part, but I said I've been doing something since 1982, 1982, in real time. And there was a time when I was real excited and had a lot of zeal and was running on the few things that I did learn that I was excited about. And I missed some stuff. So it's okay to slow down and um, do what we call the worm's eye analysis instead of using the bird's eye view. We see a lot, we cover a lot, but there are some things we need to weave together to connect some dots.
And I hear you, brother, but I want you to answer me this. Am I wrong for like the way that I think? Because like there's no people that understand and
No, sir.
understand what
Wait,
I'm
wait, wait,
saying.
wait, wait.
It's
You asked
like
the
it's
question.
rocket
Wait, slow
science.
down, slow down, slow down. You're not wrong in for how you're thinking. I'm not going to say that you're wrong for thinking that. I'm going to add to you by saying learn how to pace it. It's the difference between driving a fast sports car and versus a luxury car. You want to chill. Take your time with it so you can really become one with the automobile. You know what I mean?
You right, brother.
And when you pace yourself, you get into less accidents because you're more observant of what's going on around you. Half of this thing is the lower nature. It's an animal. We got to tame that lower nature. And y'all just saw a demonstration how it gets wild. Like having a whole bunch of pit bull pups and they just excited. Smack them on the hind part, they get the but they excited. They love you. They excited. If you don't check them early, tear your crib up, right?
True.
Yeah. So we have something going on here.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say this, Magic, and everybody else on here. So to the stars they speak to us, bro. Like, they've been doing the same cycle for who knows how long. They've been going in the same cycle. And me, I'm a Taurus. I'm Venus, which would you consider the morning star, Lucifer, the Baphomet, whatever you want to call it. And that's what I was born up under. And I totally get the as above, so below aspect.
May I say something? May I
Go
say
ahead.
something? May
Go
may
ahead,
I
Doc.
say something? May I please say something?
Go ahead.
Absolutely, Doctor.
The Baphomet does not represent Lucifer, the devil. Does not represent that.
Okay, but
But remember we just said our words, but mean you finna contradict. Because I've been listening, and it's been a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the Baphomet. Am I right, Grandmaster?
Yes, sir.
Am I right, Miss Temple? There's been a lot of misconceptions. Cav, may I please just go into a little history of the
Absolutely. I'm
Baphomet?
grateful. I'm grateful, Doctor. Absolutely.
Now, the Baphomet, all right, to and this I'm gonna give it in parables, okay? I'm gonna give the Baphomet before the goat, before the torch, before even the pentagram, there was a name. It was a whisper in the Crusaders' ear. It was a charge in a scroll. It was a cipher that refused to die or unalive. Baphomet first is a name that never belonged to just one single entity.
Right.
That's the first thing. It did not belong, but what it belonged to is we can call it a shifting shadow. That's what we'll call it. Shifting shadow. It first appeared in the 11th century. It was scrawled in the testimonies of crusaders who claimed Saracens. They invoked a deity called Baphomet. As scholars, we look at it, we are under the understanding that the corruption, it was the corruption of Mahomet or Mohammed. It was something that was filtered through fear and linguistic distortion. It was the name stuck, and again, like all mythic names, it started to evolve. Baphomet by the 14th century history. By the 14th century, oh, okay. See, appreciate that, Calf.
Yes,
Real,
sir. I
real,
have this other
real
one up
time.
here too. This one right here.
Oh, see, I ain't even okay. Ah, see,
Yes, sir.
I
And
hold on. I got my
Muhammad
eyes
means
closed, so I'm
praiseworthy.
kind of right. So I'm kind of I'm so I
Going in your
look down.
brain.
What you say, Grandmaster?
Going in your brain.
I'm
Pulling
in my
out.
brain, yes, sir.
A
Uh,
Rastafarian told me Muhammad is not a historical person who existed. Muhammad is a code for Christ consciousness. It means praiseworthy. There's a book by a scholar named Robert Spencer called Did Muhammad Exist? And he's showing a lot of evidence that he likely didn't exist. He's an archetype figure who was made up, but that's another conversation to get into. Go
yeah,
ahead,
that's
Doctor.
another
Thank you.
conversation of another day. The by the 14th century, the Knights Templar, the warrior monks of Jerusalem they were accused of worshiping Baphomet in secret rites. The name became a charge of hearsay. It was a symbol of inversion, a scapegoat for power struggles between church and order. But still, in the 14th century, no image yet existed. Still just a name, a phantom. Remember, I told you,
Shadows.
it's a shadow. There, it's a shadow.
The same thing
Not.
going on with Christianity to this day.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Christianity is something different. So
Thank you.
remember, you will always hear we talk about the Christian Crusades, and the Inquisitions. That 400-year gap where you have between the Gnostic collection of writings and the Christian canons, when you had Christians unaliving Christians. This was in that time, right there. Grandmaster gave a study a couple of months back on that whole entire revolution that happened. And he broke it down damn near almost a year by year, but he broke it down in I think it was it centuries, every 100 years you broke it down, or about that. But he broke it down. It was centuries, wasn't it? By every 100 years.
Every 100 years.
And see, so when you get to again the Crusades, the trial of the Knights Templar, this is history. The trial of the Knights Templar in 1307. It was not just a political thing; it was something that was mythic. King Philip the Fourth of France, deep in debt to the Templars, conspired with Pope Clement the Fifth to dismantle the order. Am I in there so far, Grandmaster?
Yes, sir.
I'm digging into in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
The accusations they was spitting on the cross, kissing strange idols, worshiping a severed head that they called Baphomet. Still don't have a figure. Now we in the what 13th century? We in 1307 now, and still no. Wow, wait a minute. Well, the head. What was the head? When we go look at history and you read testimonials, you'll find out it was described as a correct me if I'm wrong, Grandmaster. I think it was described as a bearded face.
Mm-hmm.
Others metallic relic. Some still saw it as a source of prophecy. The ambiguity was the point. Baphomet became a vessel of projection. It became a symbol of forbidden knowledge. Here go my area of Eastern wisdom, of Gnostic inversion.
Yes, sir.
A lot of scholars suggest that the name derived from the Arabic Abu Fahama, father of understanding, or Baphomet, coded reference to the one and only Sophia, the Gnostic goddess of wisdom.
There you
Wow.
go. There you go. You're in there.
See, if you listen to me, I'm gonna take you somewhere. It's just in my head, so it's gonna take me a second.
Hold on,
Yes,
hold
sir.
on, hold on, hold on. Wait.
I got to unpack it.
So if we go up under that cloth, that loin cloth,
Mm,
you're gonna see the same thing that if you're a man, you got the same thing.
mm.
That's the only part on your body that looks like it was stitched right up under your scrotum.
Yep, right there, Grandmaster.
But on the Baphomet, it is open.
God's son. I
Mhm.
did say what it was. You just wasn't listening, or you wasn't in here. I did. I did say what it was. And I'm in the midst of saying what it is now. I'm giving you the history. See, the problem is we see things, Grandmaster. And because we've been told that it's evil, we just say, oh, it's evil. And then we don't even take the time to learn the history.
Right?
That's what it is. It's a shadow. It's what it is.
Yes, sir.
That's what it is. See, we got to realize that a lot of things that we've been told is evil is not really evil. Okay, let me ask you this then. Let's go on a journey. I invite y'all over to the house. I say, come around the back, come in through the door downstairs. I don't follow shadows either. I'm just telling you what the Baphomet is. I say, go around the back, come in through the door that goes into the man cave. That way you can just come straight into the man cave. And when you walk in, I got guts and stuff hanging all up, blood all over the place. You say, damn, Smooth, what the fuck you doing? I'm worshiping God.
Oh, wow.
That's what it looked like, though, ain't it, Grandmaster?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. That's what a sacrifice is.
Right.
Now, that's supposed to be angelic or heavenly.
Yes, sir. To a religious person, they take it like that. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Remember that the Baphomet was not a demon. Remember, we just went over that yesterday.
Yes.
The demon,
Mhm.
the daemon. We learned what that was. Anything that's supernatural, basically.
That is supernatural.
Right, Grandmaster?
That's right. In the Greek, that's what it means.
Mm-hmm. So that guy of that book would be a demon or a daemon.
Yep.
Or a demon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
according to the original meaning of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, things get hijacked. They go take it from Grandmaster just told us yesterday what Egyptos meant. They're gonna steal everything and then say it's evil. It can still be an evil supernatural entity. What?
Right.
I could go a lot of ways with that.
Absolutely. If I may touch on a few
Bible
more of the
mystery, man.
symbols,
Mm-hmm.
just to add this, doctors, because earlier before you had come on the panel, we talked about the intertwined snakes there, symbolizing a DNA helix, the genders coming together. Grandmaster built on. We were zooming in
Oh
on
yeah.
this part. Let me pull it up right here. Let's see, this part right here in particular, with a lot of symbolism here. We have the scales in the background. All life came from water. We have they represent the twisted ladder is like a DNA helix, which
Uh-oh.
there's symbolism of the brain there. The Grandmaster built on the pineal gland, and then previous to that, let me bring up this other image here. We built on this part of it right here. That there's four
Ooh, my
toes and the
favorite.
two hooves. Yeah. And that's sitting on top of the planet, having mastered the 3D material earthly realm. Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and bring back up, I'm going to bring up this image here that I wanted to just touch on that maybe you could continue to, because we also built on this coagulate, which means to come together. And then, dissolve, which means to come apart.
Dissolve, recombine, yeah.
Right. So solves dissolve, coagulates come together. As above, so below, up, down, dark, light, polarity. And I wanted to zoom in on this part right here because the torch protruding from the back of the spinal column, I've understood symbolizes the connection of the chakras, which is igniting the Kundalini energy. And the third eye is activated, symbolized by the 5-pointed star on the forehead. And I've heard Bobby Hemmett say that the stem of the tree is the spinal cord, and the forbidden fruit in the middle of the garden is the pineal gland, and the serpent is the connection of the chakras, which told them to eat from the forbidden fruit. And the 5-pointed star symbolizes the 5 elements: earth, air, water, fire, and ether being at the top. So her pineal gland is connected to all 5 elements, encompassing the all. So she's sitting above the planet. And she has the horns, so she's spiritually protected. She has the wings, so she's mastered traveling and astral projection. And the goat is the opposite of a sheep. Sheep stay low to the ground and follow the crowd, and the goat climbs up the mountain. So climbing up the mountain, as goats do, symbolizes elevation to higher consciousness.
Hold on.
God's son.
One thing. You forgot one thing.
Yes, sir. Grandmaster.
Those horns also represent the fallopian tubes.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, Grandmaster. Divine, thank you for being here.
What's up, Divine? God's son. The Baphomet represents duality. It's not good or bad.
Yes, sir.
The you just went through it. It's all the Baphomet, the sabbatic goat is what it's called, a symbol of balance and initiation. I told y'all I'm gonna use words that I know people run from, because we ain't supposed to be running from them. The Baphomet is not evil; it's alchemical. It's those horns, like you said, the will and vitality, the torch, illumination, the divine fire.
Right.
The breast, duality and fertility, masculine and feminine.
Right.
The wings, spiritual ascent, like you said. The deuce is Kundalini energy that's rising through the spine.
Yes.
That's the the motto that's inscribed is actually an alchemical motto. Solve et tu coagula. Dissolve and recombine. It's the essence
Yes.
of transformation.
Absolutely.
Grandmaster tell us to break down the ego and recombine the soul.
That's
Wow.
right.
Wow. Profound. We had this conversation on Mysteries Live the other night about mountain goats and how amazing they are. I've seen some videos or documentaries, National Geographics about animals and that kind of thing. And when you see there's pictures of mountain goats where it really looks like they're standing on a straight wall. And it's like, how did they get up there? Like, how did they do that?
They climbed.
These mountain goats do some amazing things. It's like
Yeah, they climbed.
yeah. So the goat would symbolize going high up. They're mountain climbers. They don't follow the herd like the sheep do.
Right. Right.
Yes, sir.
And they are always vigilant.
Yes.
They're always vigilant. The Baphomet is our ritual mirror. I'm gonna use words we afraid of because I know we scared of. They done told us those the big bad monster words.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Yeah, Grandmaster, they told us those words right there was ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on. Ambassador, good to see you.
What's up, Divine? Ambassador.
Ambassador, thanks for being here. So the torch is illumination, and it seems to be protruding from the spinal cord or the back, or it could be interpreted that way.
But the torch is also divine fire.
Right.
Also divine fire. See, everything is initiation.
Yes.
Light and dark, male and female, above and below, beast and angel. Those sound like contradictions, but they are complements.
Right.
Because in alchemy, the process of solve or dissolution breaks down impurities. Coagulation rebinds the purified essence. Baphomet sits at the center of the process, embodying what we would call the alchemical marriage.
Yes, sir.
Baphomet guards the thresholds.
The greatest of all time. Then she's sitting on top of the earth, so she's mastered the material realm. And earlier we built on the wings, which could symbolize travel in many different ways. The wings could symbolize mastering astral projection. And the other brother said traveling through different lifetimes as well, which is profound.
The Baphomet, though.
Yes, sir.
The Baphomet is about within. The Baphomet forces the initiate to confront the beast within. Because you have to dissolve false identities.
Wow. So if I understand correctly, Doctor, you're saying the Baphomet may pertain to shadow work, or it does pertain to shadow work.
Yeah, you got to emerge. Yeah, you got to emerge reborn. Because see, the goat is not the enemy, it's the gatekeeper.
So a religious person may not even be ready to understand this, and I'm not spilling the beans too much here. Yeah, but the Baphomet's actually a symbol of achieving Christ consciousness. It's your story of raising up to being the greatest of all time, the goat.
Right. The Baphomet appears in initiation rites in symbolic confrontations, in esoteric scrolls. The Baphomet is the trial by fire, the mirror of interrogation, the cipher of transformation.
Yes, sir.